Hey guys, my name is Ab, and this is the T49. Doesn't need any introduction, but for those new to Blitz, this is a Tier 8 American light tank. Not a very conventional light tank either. When it works, it's insanely fun and it's one of my most played tanks in the game, even though that might not say a lot when someone looks into my garage stats. But let's talk about the party piece of the T49 first. That gun. Well, gun technically a howitzer. If you're not feeling the 152mm, you can use the 90. It's not the best in terms of penetration and output, but it's the most accurate of the tier 8 lights at that point. Where's the fun in that though? The 152mm howitzer reloads for quite a while, about 16 seconds with calibrated shells. And I may hear some of you asking, why calibrated shells? And the answer is simple. You only have heat and HE, and the HE is premium ammo. With calibrated shells on, you're looking at around 170mm of heat penetration and around 80 of HE, which is enough to go through the sides of a lot of tanks and a ton of rears too. 560 and 780 alpha respectively makes this thing hurt a lot when it actually penetrates. Of course, the accuracy is terrible and there's not really a point in talking about it much. The aim time is long, and the dispersion is huge. This is a derp tank through and through. The shell velocity is also quite low, which is gonna affect your pre-aiming. This is a tank that requires practice, but the rewards are quite nice. Oh, also, 10 degrees of gun depression. Awesome. The armor, well, it's a light tank, it's non-existent. You'll be lucky if you don't get penetrated by HE, and the crew is not particularly well protected either, so you should keep a multi-purpose kit handy as often as possible. The mobility, however, is awesome. It isn't the very fastest around its tier, the RU-251 is the fastest in the tier, but it does get quite close. 72 kilometers forwards and 24 in reverse. This supports the butterfly playstyle really well. What's the butterfly playstyle about? Well, if you've ever seen the Rolling Stream, for example, and if you've ever heard the words float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, then you already understand how well the T49 performs at this. Hit and run tactics will be your daily bread and butter, especially thanks to the great mobility. Fire, relocate, wait for it, fire. Relocate, wait for it, fire. Your battles will be mostly a loop of this. So overall, the pros, great damage potential, great mobility, great gun depression, and it's also fun. And the cons, terrible armor, poor accuracy, and a long reload. This is definitely a tank that should honestly stay in your garage. It may be suffering alongside other tier 8 lights at the moment, especially due to the very prevalent heavies at the tier and all of that premium spam, but when it works, it really works. And even if you can't do much damage, splashing high explosive will always work. And without further ado, let's get into a replay. Alright, so here we are, Vineyards. A relatively okay battle. Again, I do apologize for the 4-month delay, but I have been quite occupied, so I think I'll not be revealing anything disastrous by telling you that this battle is gonna end in a defeat, but I do want you to see something that I do try every now and then in this battle. Of course, the first obvious thing is to make sure that you are managing your shells well enough. This applies especially to British mediums, but with something like the T49, I do believe it is also especially important. I do prefer a majority of HE compared to heat as well. HE will always deal some damage, and this was a very unfortunate start. I should have already moved back, not even tried to fire at the Progetto. It was honestly not worth the effort. However, that Bourrasque looks mighty juicy, so let's see if we have a shot. Maybe we will. Oh, would you just look at that? Well, let's take a really nasty shot. It's a little bit unfortunate, but you always want to take any opportunity you can get to deal a little bit of damage, that whole float like a butterfly, sting like a bee tactic. which is not exactly what I'm gonna actually show in this replay, as this battle is quite static because the enemy team didn't move much, but ooh, when it works, it really works. 800 hit points just flat out gone. That neuters the Comet down considerably, to the point that it's almost not even a threat, and it is down. The Ice 2 shielded would have actually been a problem a little regarding the side screens, but I managed to hit at the front of the turret and completely knocked it out. So, how are we doing so far in the battle? We're doing okay, around 1700 damage, and I am still looking around to see if I can actually smack the Progetto, but because the majority of the enemy team is still around here, I haven't bothered. There was a little bit of lag there, the GSOR was actually already looking at me, but for some odd reason he did not fire, which just gives me extra damage. We're at 2k now. I hope that I'm, like, getting the point through in this, you know, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm gonna keep repeating it, but in this replay I don't really do that much. An unfortunate shot at the Bourrasque wouldn't even be possible, but here, I'm kind of considering if it's worth it rushing for the Progetto a little, but I then decide not to and just wait and see if something will actually pop up around here. I want to have the Bourrasque stay as long as I can, and here is the Act Panther. Of course we can't end that with heat, but we're gonna at least try some HE, you know, to distract him a little. The Bourrasque, well, I don't know what he's doing really. It's not an easy shot with the penetration that it has, but here's a very nice shot, 311, drive it dead, and the Progetto is still around. At which point I slowly decide that I really need to get rid of that guy. Unfortunately I did kind of muck it up, but we'll get to that in a bit. Overall, honestly, the T49 is fun, but when you get static battles like this, it is a little bit rough. The Bourrasque was actually moving there, again, replay lag for some reason, and he got knocked out, so there we go, 3k. It's honestly a pretty good battle for T49 standards, and at this point, I am starting to think that maybe I really should try and just take out the Progetto. However, I still want to see if I can get the Act Panther first, which I don't think will actually happen in this battle. It is a little unfortunate, but it's not really something I can do. So, here we go. I see the Progetto. Fire. And I managed to actually splash him. Now, for those that are a little astute, you might be able to kill that with heat. And herein lies the crux of the problem and why I actually threw this battle. The heat does not exactly have that alpha reliably, shall we say. I should have tried and exploited my mobility and shot the Progetto in the rear, but that is not what I have done. I have revealed myself too early, and I have rolled low. So, a very, very unfortunate end to an otherwise pretty decent battle, and the 252 takes notice, and I'm toast. That is basically it. What can I say? What can I say? This is such a fun tank, but when you just get battles like this, it can be a little bit frustrating. So, yeah, the overall final tally. I don't know why, but it's showing the 90mm, great bug there. So 3.9k, just 2 kills, almost the entire enemy team has been damaged, and overall, I gotta say I did still enjoy that battle in the end. It was quite fun. The T49 is fun, get the T49. As usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever. The Ko-Fi is in the description, the link to the Discord is also in the description, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.